Hello, I'm Benny Westside, and today we're going to talk about Odin and the rest of the Asgardians. This is going to be a new type of video, not like a new series, but it's something I haven't necessarily done before. Um, it's not really a kit reveal. We are going to talk about the kit. It's not a crash course because one, you can't unlock him yet. It's going to be a while. Two, he's a mythic. He's amazing to the moon. No need for a crash course. Three, it's more about his synergies with the Asgard characters that are in the game. We're going to talk about how having Odin changes or doesn't change how we look at the existing ones, if it increases the stock of any of them. So that's what we're going to discuss. As you can see, as of this Friday, Odin is in the game. We still don't know when he's going to release. I believe it's still a little bit out, but having him in the game is exciting for sure. So we're going to talk about his kit and then talk about what the implications are for our Asgardians that we have. I have the speed stats over here, or generally stats, so that we can discuss. But over here, I put up all of my graphics. These are all on my Instagram. I will link the Odin graphic in the description. The other ones are not new at all. They're just I pulled together all the Asgardian graphics throughout the years. All right, Odin, the passive Allfather. On allied turn, gain assist now. This is similar to Logan. He's just gonna assist anybody. On enemy turn, lose 1 charged, down to a minimum of 1. On turn, lose 1 charged. So the way he gets to 0 charges is either on his turn or if somebody clears it. When this character loses their last charged, generate 10 ultimate energy for self. And I can confirm that if, say, a Silver Surfer or a Gore clears his charges, this is also going to activate. On being stunned, clear stun from self and gain offense up for 2 turns and speed up for 2 turns, so don't try to stun him. While charged, gain 100% speed. He has 128 speed himself, so he's going to be up to 256, and if he gets a speed bar or speed up on top of that, he's going to be, 500 plus? He's going to be insane. Sorry, no, not 500 plus. 400. Close to 400. I can't do math off the top of my head. But he's going to be close to 400 speed. The speed of this character can only be reduced by slow, so Emma doesn't work on him. This character cannot have their speed bar reduced, so you cannot rewind him. Gain 25% damage reduction and 25% resistance, while charged gain an additional 25% damage reduction and 25% resistance. While charged, this character cannot gain any new negative effects, so you can extend but cannot apply any. This character cannot gain defense up, minor defense up, safeguard, or trauma. This character cannot be revived. So, not getting minor defense up or defense up means it cannot be flipped or cleared, but he basically has it permanently. Defense up is a damage reduction and a resistance boost. He already has that in his kit. He has 25% raw, and then while he's charged, it's up to 50%. And those are the amounts that minor and regular defense up do. Minor does 25%, defense up does 50% damage reduction and resistance boost. So he's a character with permanent defense up. It also means some of the characters like Kang, Ultron, I think somebody in Orcus, I'm not sure. Characters that ignore defense up on their abilities cannot ignore this because this is a permanent damage reduction. Whereas for those characters' kits, it sees the defense up and it doubles the damage of the attack. So this gets around that as well. Very cool. Alright, his special is going to be his turn 1 ability, gain +5 charged up to a maximum of 5. Clear exposed from self. Clear 1 exhaust from self and all allies. Flip all debuffs on self and all allies. Heal self and all allies. for 50% of his max health. Do you know how much max health he has? It's crazy. This is looking at 4 red, 7 gold, and he has 6 million health. He's gonna be healing a lot. And then he's gonna apply offense up, defense up, speed up, and immunity to self and all allies. For 2 turns, he's gonna bury yourself on all Asgardian allies. If this character has used their basic, counter, or assist, he's gonna clear all battlefield effects and apply All-Father's Fury as a battlefield effect to the enemy side. So if somebody goes before him and Odin assists them, then on his special he will set up the battlefield. Otherwise, he will have to wait until he gets to his second turn and uses his basic, which the battlefield is on his basic as well. The battlefield is at the end of any enemy turn, Odin will use his basic. Now let's look at his basic. Basic, attack all enemies for piercing damage and drain. So he's going to heal himself. And he's going to steal 3% health from all enemies and redistribute to self. And he's also going to clear 2 debuffs from self on all allies. That's like an awakened ultimate for a character from like a year ago. He has this on his basic. He's going to clear all battlefield effects on the enemy side and apply All-Father's Fury. This attack ignores defense up. See, Odin is one that ignores defense up. Anyway, insane basic. So he's going to do this at the end of any enemy turn. Alright, now let's see what happens when he loses all his charges and he can use his ultimate. Because it's on a 10-turn cooldown. Clear all barrier on all enemies. Attack all enemies for 400% piercing. And flip all buffs into debuffs. Apply heal block and disrupted and blind. Steal 10% health from all enemies. And redistribute to self only, not all, but that's okay. He heals all allies on his special. Characters killed by this attack cannot be revived. This attack ignores defense up, is unavoidable, cannot be blocked, cannot be countered. Odin is insane. This character, as I said in the beginning, you don't need a crash course, just build him to the moon. Alright. He's just gonna be so good. And he counters Mephisto so hard. He overwrites his battlefield effect. What does he do? He has so much speed. He clears exposed, clears exhaust. He's insane. Alright. Now let's talk about the other Asgardians. I'm gonna talk about the one first. I'm gonna talk about Jane Foster. She's the one I'm most excited about because if we look at her passive, and it's not Southern Hospitality, I think it's Mighty or whatever, something like that. Attack at the end of any turn, if this character has 5 or more charged, this doesn't matter. When this character or a hero Asgardian attacks an enemy, apply +1 charged to all chargeable hero Asgardian allies. This is so valuable for Odin because when he's charged, he's going to not only double his speed, but he's also going to have the double damage reduction, double resistance, and then he's also going to be immune to negative effects. I want to keep him charged. Of course, I want him to lose his charges, gain those 10 ability energy, and then attack, get his ultimate off. But then, after that, immediately I want him to get his charges back. The thing is, Odin's sleep is on an 8-turn cooldown, so it's going to be a while until I can charge him via his own kit. But Jane Foster can keep him charged permanently throughout the fight. Because he's so fast, he's going to be attacking constantly, which means Jane can give him charges. I'm not sure if when the character loses their last charge, generate 10 ultimate energy for self, if that happens every time. If that's the case, the way Jane would work is Jane would give him charge. On his turn, he would lose that charge, gain the 10 energy, attack, Jane gives him his charge again, Odin comes back to his turn, loses charge, gets the 10 energy. If that's the case, that's a nasty loop. I'm guessing they'll code it to where it only happens once. And even if it isn't, once we do this in game, they'll change it to only once, I'm sure. Because that would be insane. But I think the implications of Jane Foster for Odin are insane. And I really think, maybe I'm overstating it, and I'm happy to walk back or eat my words, whatever you want to call it, once it comes out and we test it. Her stats just might not be enough to do this. But I think she's going to be the Red Hulk to Odin's Apocalypse. The rest of her kit doesn't necessarily have anything special for Odin. I'm not going to go through all the Asgard kits. I'm just going to talk about what matters for us for Odin. All right. Now Vahl. We all built them for raids, for Dark Dimension, what have you. We want good value out of Vahl. But when you look at Vahl's kit, it doesn't necessarily do anything special or extra for Asgardian allies that it did for, Kestrel or whatever. So it's not anything that we need to look forward to. I don't think Odin necessarily changes Vahl's viability. One thing might be, though, in raids, he might slot into the team. But again, as I said, Vahl doesn't have that many special callouts to Asgard, more so Bifrost. They have some hero callouts, but yeah, that's about it. So I don't think much is going to change for Vahl. All right, Beta Ray Bill. On spawn, apply defense up, death proof, deflect. Odin can't have defense up. They can get deflect, so that is nice. They can get death proof. 3 death proof is nice, especially on a character who cannot be revived. So that's something. Beta Ray is also going to give 60% armor to Odin. So I think that's something to think about. Nothing like thrilling like Jane Foster. But 60% armor is not something to scoff at. Did Jane give any stats? In war, she gives max health and resistance to heal block. Resistance to heal block might be nice, but Odin does a lot of health steal, so heal block isn't necessarily something he's worried about. The max health is nice because he has such high health stat. Increasing that even further is nice, but it's only locked to war. Regardless, I think Jane and Odin are going to be a good power duo. So that death proof and deflect might be nice, but is that worth taking a slot or wasting a slot on Beta Ray? I'm not sure. Ultimate doesn't matter. Special applies. Again, defense up doesn't matter. Applies deflect to all cosmic. It's okay. I will give a nod to the death proof, deflect, and armor. I think that's nice. All right, and that's not tied to war or raids. All right, now let's look at Hela. In war, she's going to give damage to Odin. I think that's big. If Odin dies, she's going to summon a Greg, which is okay. Having Odin on the team will increase her damage stat. Odin could fit onto Undying. Now that's interesting. Because she gains the damage in war, not on war defense. it could be undying Odin Jane, but I want to see what that beats that undying wouldn't have or Odin wouldn't have separately that makes it worth putting all those characters together. That's something I will test. Undying Odin Jane. That's interesting. Um, on her ultimate, she would apply regens to Odin. You know, it might have been unnecessary just to even mention that. I do like the damage bump. I like that. So Jane would give him health. Hela would give him damage. 25% damage. Look at this dude's damage stat. Vahl is one of the characters, like before the stat reset, Vahl is one of the characters with the highest damage, right? Or maybe the highest damage. Odin has almost 3 times. No, more than double that. Granted, Vahl can get to 7 reds, can get to 3 diamonds. Odin, presumably not. But still. Okay, so let's look at this. Odin at 4 reds is 390,000. Let's look at Vahl at 3 diamonds. Vahl at 3 diamonds is 240. So Odin is still 1.5 times that. And 4 reds is my guess right now. It could be 5 reds. It could be 7 reds. We have no idea what they're going to give us. But let's go back to 4 reds. So anyway, putting 25% on top of that is a good nod from Hela. I think that'll be nice. All right, let's look at Greg. On death, he would heal Odin if Odin is the lowest health. Nothing necessarily special, but something. All right, Valkyrie. More on the hero Asgard realm. So if a hero Asgardian dies, her big thing, what she does is she clears all debuffs, applies safeguard, Odin cannot gain safeguard, applies immunity, offense up, defense up, Odin cannot gain defense up, generate 1 ability energy. In the grand scheme of Odin's kit, 1 energy isn't necessarily that much, but it's something. And then heal. I don't think Odin's gonna care about healing from Vahl's passive because Vahl's health stat is so inferior to Odin's. But anyway, she tried. Yeah. So I mean, what this might do is like when the other characters die, obviously Odin's gonna be the last to die unless they focus him, which I mean they might, but I feel like the others will die because they're so small in the meantime. Anyway, it would keep Odin a little more aggressive and survivable. Immunity. Yeah, it's alright. She would give him crit chance. That's nice. But it's just crit chance, not crit damage as well. So, it's alright. Her ultimate doesn't matter for Odin. Her special applies counter and offense up to Odin. That's nice, but I don't know if it necessarily warrants a spot. I can totally see Odin, Valkyrie, and Jane on defense. Maybe with Vahl and Beta Ray. I'm intrigued by that undying Jane on offense thing. But yeah, as I said, I would need to assess what it can beat that it wouldn't have separately. All right, Sif. Sif's thing is she has reflexive taunt. When a hero Asgardian drops below 50%, gain taunt for 2 turns, and this is only on war defense. That's a shame, I would say. If this was everywhere, that would be awesome, or even just in war overall, that would be awesome. But that's okay. When this character or a hero Asgardian ally drops below 50% health, apply offense up for 2 turns. That's nice. Nothing crazy. She would give resistance to Odin. Also nice. Nothing crazy. that's about it. The special applying defense up does not matter for Odin. The reflexive taunt is nice, but again, only on war defense. I don't know if Sif gets a nod for this. It would be a nice distraction if your Odin is on defense. It would be a nice distraction. That way, because Odin cannot be revived by Vahl or anybody, if he's below 50% health, having this distraction over here on Sif would mean Odin has a little more chance to get back. Alright, Heimdall. In war, on turn, generate 2 energy for 2 random hero Asgardian allies or self that were not at full energy. This would be nice if he didn't have 100 speed. He's not going to take that many turns. He would give resistance to blind for Odin. Nice, I guess. Oh, let's see. Does Odin have boosted accuracy? He does not. So, resistance against blind plus 100% accuracy is nice. But I think his abilities are unavoidable, right? They are not. Only the ult is unavoidable. Basic and special are not. Okay. I still don't think it means that much for Heimdall, but sure. He gives focus to Odin. This one I really don't think Odin's gonna need. And then crit chance once again. That's okay. On war defense, apply defense up. Odin doesn't care. When this character or a hero Asgardian drops below 50%, apply 2 death proof and 2 speed up. Now that's nice. It's nice, but does it warrant a spot? No. If we could put 10 characters on a defense, sure. But if it's 5, up to now, I would still say it's Odin, Vahl, Val, Jane, and then the last spot is like between Beta Ray and Sif. Yeah. His special would clear heal block from Odin. I don't think that matters. Then the basic gain assist from a random Asgard doesn't matter. Odin already assists everybody. Alright. Let's look at Kid Loki. Bifrost, 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 Bifrost. Raid, Bifrost, Bifrost, Raid. So, Kid Loki does not care. Let's look at Loki. When this character or an Asgardian ally drops below 50% health, apply stealth to that character. In raids, also apply 3 evade and 3 death proof. This strengthens the idea that Odin might slot in raids until we get Night Stalkers. Then again, are we going to get Night Stalkers first or Odin? I do not know. I think this is nice to protect a character that can't revive or can't be revived. What is it? Is it that good? No, not really. I don't see anything else. Yeah, these protection mechanics are interesting. On the ward defense thing, instead of Sif, we could do Loki. I think Loki's stats might be a little better. I guess it depends on who you've built, but Sif wouldn't synergize with the Hero Asgard stuff from Vahl. Yeah. You get what I'm saying. Alright, Sylvie. Bifrost, Raid, Bifrost, Raid. Bifrost, Raid, Bifrost, Raid. Sylvie does not care. Alright, Thor. His son. All it is for him is when somebody hits Odin, he'll get charged, and then if somebody hits Odin, he'll also get speed bar. And that is about it. He doesn't even give a stat. He would get 10% damage because Odin's on the field, but Thor is so crapped, it does not matter. Bye, Thor. Thor Infinity War, for him, it also doesn't matter. All he does is if somebody hits Odin in war, Thor Infinity War would get 5% speed bar. That is nothing. If he gave 5% speed bar to Odin, maybe, but not in this current state. And that is it. All right. Let's look at it this way. Odin, amazing. I think Jane is his Red Hulk or his 2099, his enabler. I really think Jane is gonna be good with him. I still would recommend waiting. Don't pre-build Jane. I think it's premature. I might probably maybe I'll get to test it on the test server. I was gonna say I might build Jane close to when I unlock Odin, but I don't know. I'll test it. If I do test it, you will see it. I think Vahl is just as relevant. I don't think anything changes for Vahl. Beta Ray, maybe. Hela, I am interested in putting Odin and Jane with Undying and seeing what that does for us. Valkyrie, I think like maybe just as relevant. It's just an increased capacity for another hero Asgard. The problem is Odin wouldn't get like the defense up or the safeguard that she would have given. Sif, reflexive taunt, nice, nothing crazy. Heimdall again, unfortunately, nothing much. Stealth from Loki is interesting. Not that important. I like the damage bump from Hela and the health bump from Mighty Thor. I love the charges from Mighty Thor. Beta Ray has some survivability mechanics. Valkyrie passive is nice. So that's about it. If you're rolling in resources, Mighty Thor would be the one. But once again, don't pre-build. I will, if I get to test this, I will post it and you will see it. Let me know your thoughts. Is there something I'm missing? If I am, definitely let me know. Are you excited for Odin? Let me know. How is your Dark Dimension 8 planning going? I haven't done any video on that. I think I'm waiting to see the Dark Dimension in the game, see the node list, see the characters on defense. That way I can make a more informed decision. Right now I'm just hoarding, and I think I'll start purchasing once I know what I'm in for. And purchasing and upgrading. I only upgraded like key characters, most of them legendaries, mythics, things like that, 4 or 5 characters. But I haven't like necessarily started upgrading for Dark Dimension. So now I'm in Horde mode. I'm just waiting for that. I've gone on long enough. As I said, let me know if you think I missed anything in terms of Asgard. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for going over Odin and Asgard with me. I hope to see you in the next one.